The rain had soaked through my jacket, and that food delivery bag was digging into my shoulders. From the 10th floor of this luxury apartment building, I could just about see the glowing sign of my old office building across the city, the place where I used to be a director, where I had a team of 50 developers, a six-figure salary, and a parking spot with my name on it. Now, my name was on a delivery app, and my vehicle was beat-up scooter. I'm 58 years old, and after 15 years in the tech industry, my most important key performance indicator was getting pizza to a college kid before it gets cold. How did I get there? Amid series of events, one major contributor to reach at this stage was a piece of paper, a document I thought was my shield, my trophy, my proof of worth. My resume. A document so full of lies and half-truths that it not only failed to get me a right new job, but it actively sabotaged my entire career. I'm here to tell you my story, not because I want your pity, but because I need you to understand that you could be one bad decision, one missed trend, one terrible resume away from being me. I was the director of product development at a successful software house. We built custom enterprise solutions, and for a long time we were the best. My whole identity was built on that success. I was the guy with the gut instinct, the one who could close a deal on the golf course. While the world was moving towards agile development, cloud-native architecture, and machine learning integration, I was still selling our clients on the same old reliable, monolithic systems we'd been building for a decade. I saw the new tech stacks as flashy fads. My clients trusted me, I told myself. My team knew our old code inside and out. We were stable. We were profitable. Until we weren't. It started with one client leaving for a competitor who offered a more flexible cloud-based solution. I dismissed it as a one-off. Then another left. Then a big one, a client worth millions in annual revenue, failed to renew their contract. The excuse was budget cuts, but I knew the real reason. We were dinosaurs, and the meteor was already in the atmosphere. The board of directors got nervous. And when a board gets nervous, they don't send you a pep talk. They send in the auditors. 3 of them. Fresh out of business school, armed with laptops and a complete lack of sentiment. They didn't see a seasoned director, they saw a liability. They interviewed my team, analyzed our project timelines, and looked at our code base. Their final report was a corporate execution order. It highlighted our slow deployment cycles, our outdated technology, and my failure to forecast market shifts. They didn't yell. They didn't even seem angry. They just presented the data that proved I was the anchor holding the entire ship back. I was made redundant, effective immediately. The humiliation was a physical thing, but the real nightmare began at home. My severance package evaporated in a few months, swallowed by a mortgage and a lifestyle we could no longer afford. We had to pull our son out of his private school. Trying to explain to an 8-year-old why he can't see his friends anymore is a conversation that scars you for life. The fancy dinners stopped. The vacations disappeared from the calendar. Our life shrank until it was confined to the 4 walls of our house, a house we were now terrified of losing. The anxiety was a constant hum in the back of my mind. The depression was a crushing weight that made getting out of bed feel like climbing a mountain. I tried to get a new job. I thought with my director title, I'd land on my feet. I applied for dozens of positions. Nothing. I started applying for senior manager roles. Still nothing. My confidence shattered. I even applied for a junior project manager role at a startup. I was ghosted. After 6 months of soul-destroying silence, I took a job at low-profile software house with designation of business development cum supply chain manager. The pay was abysmal, and the work was mind-numbing. I lasted for very few months before I quit in a fit of rage and despair. We were running out of money and out of time. After a series of unsuccessful job attempts and adversities for years, I signed up for this delivery app. It wasn't a choice, it was a surrender. It was during one of those long, lonely nights waiting for an order that I finally looked at my resume with honest eyes. And I felt sick. It wasn't a summary of my career, it was a monument to my ego and is riddled with catastrophic mistakes. Mistake number 1, the kitchen sink of achievements. My resume was 4 pages long. I listed every single project I had ever touched, every piece of software I had ever used, going back to the early 2000s. I thought it showed a depth of experience, What it really showed was that I couldn't distinguish what was important. Recruiters spend seconds on a resume. They saw my wall of text and immediately tossed it. It was overwhelming and completely unfocused. The way out is this: curate ruthlessly. Your resume isn't your life story. It's a marketing document for a specific job. Focus only on the last 10 years and pick only the most impactful and relevant achievements. Keep it to one page if you can, two at the absolute maximum. Mistake number 2, over-reliance on corporate jargon. I had filled my resume with meaningless buzzwords because I thought they made me sound intelligent. Sentences like architected synergistic cross-platform paradigms to drive stakeholder value. It's gibberish. It's a smokescreen people use when they can't clearly state what they actually accomplished. A hiring manager reads that and their eyes glaze over. It signals you're all talk. The way out is this: write like a human being. Explain what you did in simple, direct language. Instead of corporate speak, say, led a team of software engineers to build a new mobile banking app for our clients. It's clear, confident, and it actually means something. Mistake number 3, focusing on responsibilities, not quantifiable results. My resume was a list of my duties. Responsible for managing the development team. Oversaw the product lifecycle. Nobody cares what you were responsible for. They care what you achieved. The fact that you managed a team is not an accomplishment. It's the bare minimum requirement of the job. The way out is this: add a number or a metric to every single bullet point. Don't just say you oversaw a product launch. Say you led the launch of a new software product that acquired 10,000 new users in the first 3 months and increased revenue by 15%. Numbers are your proof. They turn vague responsibilities into concrete, undeniable achievements. Mistake number 4, taking sole credit for team efforts. Every bullet point on my resume started with I. I increased efficiency. I secured a new contract. I delivered the project. In the tech world and in any leadership role, nothing significant is ever done alone. My resume painted me as an egomaniac who either didn't have a team or refused to acknowledge them. It's a massive red flag for any company that values collaboration. The way out is this: use collaborative action verbs. Instead of I, say led, coordinated, collaborated with, or guided. For example, guided a team of 12 developers to refactor our legacy code, which improves system performance by 30%. This shows you are a leader who achieves results through your team, not in spite of them. Mistake number 5, creating a one-size-fits-all document. I had one master resume that I spammed out to every job application. I thought my experience spoke for itself. This was pure laziness. It showed that I hadn't bothered to read the job description or understand the company's specific needs. It's the equivalent of showing up to a job interview in your pajamas. The way out is this: customize your resume for every single application. Read the job description carefully and mirror its language. Highlight the skills and achievements you have that are most relevant to that specific role. It takes an extra 10 minutes, but it shows the recruiter that you are the perfect fit for their problem. Mere few enumerated mistakes on resume were not the only reasons to land me finally a job of delivery boy. There were a series of connected unfortunate events which made me to reach so low after being fired from first job. Those I shall share in episodes coming up next. Anyhow, here I was on scooter in the rain. This wasn't the end of my story. I was learning to code again online late at night after my shifts. I was rebuilding my resume from scratch based on honesty, not ego. That job was my penance, but it was also my motivation. It was a nightly reminder of the cost of arrogance. Don't wait until you're there. Go home tonight, open up that resume, and tell yourself the truth before someone else does it for you. What I'm about to share in my next few videos could save you from a world of trouble. I learned things the hard way, and it was a painful, costly experience. But for you, that lesson is free. Subscribe now and turn on notifications because you are not going to want to miss this.